I have witnessed family members dying from cancer. So have I. It seems as death approaches, we tend to cling to life desperately, and family are unable to let go despite the unavoidable truth. Very, very true. This causes much suffering, distress, and confusion. What is the Buddhist way of dying? Have you ever witnessed something valuable to share? I have been there with two people died. My grandmother and my wife. I've seen people, both my parents are cancer survivors. 3 out of 4 of my grandparents died of cancer. I've seen a lot of death in my life. So I guess I have a lot to say about this, but we don't have a lot of time. I would say that if somebody has to, people act and grieve and deal with things in their own way. When somebody's dying, wow, I really killed the mood, didn't I? It's like we're all laughing now. Everybody's like, come to the mindfulness of death retreat now. When somebody is dying, people don't want it. My wife I had to make the choice. She died of cancer, by the way. So it got to the point where I had to make the choice to let her die or to be intubated. I'm not a big fan of intubation. I don't like, for me it's DNR. But anyway, her family wanted it another way. So I went with her family. And I could see that even though, there was nothing, it was done. It was over. They were holding on. Because and I wasn't a Buddhist at that point. But I've always had interesting views on death. That's why we don't have enough time for me to talk about this, honestly. But I saw that. You have to let people grieve and handle death in their own way. You don't want to force, you don't want to try to control how they grieve and how they handle death. It's worry about, I would say, concentrate on your own feelings, your own mind, your own practice. It is an unavoidable truth. One of the things, we're talking about things that impress me in the suttas, is in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, which is the sutta of the last days of the Buddha. There's a scene where the Buddha's on his deathbed, he's going, and everybody's wailing and crying and lamenting, ripping their hair and beating out their breath. And then it says, those who understand calmly were meditating there, saying, the Buddha said, all is impermanent. Anicca vata sankhara, all conditioned things are impermanent. How can this be otherwise? And I thought, wow, I want to be like that. That's amazing. That I can really understand that. And so, if you want to know what the Buddhist way of dying, that's it. Of course, that's for arahants. We're all not there yet. There's a wonderful story from the monks. He was a contemporary of Bhante Ji also, Bhante Keshri Dhammananda. And the story of when he found out he had cancer, he laughed. And the doctor said that was the only time he ever told somebody who had cancer, and they laughed. There's another story, quick story from Ajahn Brahm, where he was in Thailand, and he had malaria, and he was in the hospital, and he was, really sick. And his teacher came, Ajahn Chah, and he's telling the story, and he's like, oh my God, I was sick, I couldn't believe my teacher came. And he said that Ajahn Chah came into his room, said, Brahmavamso, you'll either get better or you'll die. And then he just walked out. And like for us, that seems so silly. Like, really? But when you know the Dhamma, that what else is there? Everything is impermanent. You're either going to get better or you're going to die. One way or the other. One way or the other, the suffering you're going through now is going to end because it's impermanent.